Hello students, I Manoj will be explaining to you the very first unit 1 of English Standard 7 Exploring Singers. Can you recognize this famous personality? He is the one who wrote the India's national anthem Jana Gana Mana. Yes, you are right, Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore was born in Calcutta on 7th May 1861. He was a great scholar, novelist, essayist, song composer and playwright. He lost his mother at a very young age and his father was a traveler. So he was mostly raised by the servants and maids. At the age of 8, he started writing poems and by the age of 16, he published his first poem. In the beginning, Tagore did not use his real name. He used a pen name Bhanu Simha, means sun lion. There are many poets, writers and painters who do not use their real name. They use their pen name. They change their name for various reasons, like they don't want their real identity to be disclosed or they don't like to become famous or known to the people. You too, children, can use your pen name and write letters to your friends. Students, I want you to imagine if you published a story or poem, what pen name you would like to choose. Write this activity in your textbook. Now I move on to activity 2. In this activity, we have a beautiful poem where the mind is without fear. It is a thought-provoking poem by Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore. It is one of the best poems in the anthology called Gitanjali, which was published in 1912. Actually, this poem was written in Bengali in 1900. Later in 1911, this poem was translated in English by Rabindranath Tagore himself. Due to its profoundly sensitive, fresh and beautiful verse, Rabindranath Tagore became the first non-European to win the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. Dear students, anthology means collection of poems. Tagore lived during the time when India was ruled by the British. When Tagore composed this poem, his mind was confined by the chains of slavery. India was under the clutches of British rule at that time. This poem is written in the form of prayer to God, in which he sincerely urges to God to awake his fellow beings. He wants them to enjoy the life of full dignity and honor. Now I am going to recite the poem. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. In these lines, the poet starts to imagine what he would like his country to be. He says that no countryman of his should live with fear on his mind at all times. Instead, they should hold their heads up fearlessly and have confidence in themselves. Knowledge should be available to all citizens. That is, educational institutes should admit students of all races and classes. All should be united instead of fighting among themselves for supremacy. They should fight together for the freedom of the country. Fragments means broken parts. Narrow domestic walls means division on the basis of religion, caste, class and color in societies and between countries of the world. Where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches his arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit. In these lines, the poet says that in the India of his dreams, everyone should speak the truth. No person should lie for his own advantage. Every man should make an effort to improve himself and keep trying till he reaches a stage of self-perfection. Next, the poet imagines reason to be a stream of water through which one can progress easily and without encountering too many obstacles. On the other hand, he imagines habit to be a desert. The stream of reason seems to be lost in the sand of habit. This means that he is saying that the people of his country blindly believe in their superstitions at present, and he urges the people to think logically. Tireless striving means continuous effort and struggles. Stretches its arms means aims at achieving a goal. Stream of reason means continuous flow of thoughts. Where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thoughts and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. In these lines, the poet speaks directly to God. He wants his countrymen to be led by him so that they broaden the horizon of both their thoughts and their action. If they do so, then India would be transformed into heaven where all its citizens would be truly free. Dreary means lifeless. Dead habit means old traditional rituals and customs that are harmful. Thee means yours. Ever widening means forever broadening one's outlook. Heaven of freedom means condition of total freedom of good thoughts, good words and good deeds while respecting those of others. In this poem, the poet envisions the India of the future. In this country, no man will live in fear. Instead, they will have a strong sense of self-dignity. They will all possess a share of knowledge or wisdom. No Indian will discriminate against another on the basis of class or caste, and all its various states will join hands in the fight against the British. Every man will speak the truth and try to achieve self-perfection. They will stop believing in their superstitions and question these with the help of reason instead. Where the Mind is Without Fear is one of the best known poems of Tagore. That is because its message can easily stand the test of time. Of course, it was inspirational for the freedom fighters in India at the time in which it was written. However, it has continued to move readers for a century since then. The way in which it defines freedom is radical, not just freedom from the rule of another race, but the freedom of the mind. That is the kind of freedom that every man craves, even one who is living in a supposedly free state. That is why its subject matter is relatable to all readers and it inspires them greatly as well. We have come to the end of this video. Students, you are required to write the poem in your notebook and write all the meanings that I gave you in between the explanation of the poem. Solve the match the column. Activity 3 and Activity 4 in your respective English prose notebook. In the next video, I will cover Activity 5 to 10. Thank you for watching this video.